Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. wait for it to cool down. Give this jack under or not. Oh, fuck. Like I've got come back tomorrow and have a cross. Got the broom. Freaking Jackson. Bloody hell. Oh, I'll be moving it out tomorrow. Just have to clean some of these up. Clean some of them up, stack the rest of the shit. They need to be cleaned up and then put back in the car. get all the wrestling figures out first and I'll start cleaning them and I'll show you them all. What am I doing? Putting Bluetooth off. Bluetooth is off.
Take the risk that if they have a hit, they have to take it. Because the cost to them is now getting to what they call a dollar swap, where basically the dollar premium they make.
What's it doing that for? Stupid thing. I'm in my storage container cleaning out.
For instance, they have all ways of different things underneath. And again, they try and use those stuff brands to really delegate towards their core target markets. And we're offering when the insurance claim comes, the issuer has a problem where the insurance person, you or me, believes they're more covered than they are. So this is the other thing is that the brand around it has an issue, because if they get a fairly bad outlook because they're not insuring something, they therefore have that brand problem as well. So it's a tough business insurance if you are running one, and it is very, very tight at the moment.
Yeah. How are the markets doing today?
We are very, very flat today. So if you set it up 8 points, which is good to see, so 74.60, it means that today we are now up 6%, which is on current track the best.
Yeah, it's just the lens for some reason does that every so often.
That would be quite incredible to see, considering that at the end of last year we were staring down the barrel of a pretty rocky road. So just keep that in the back of your mind. It's quite incredible to think that this year, where we are facing a possible global recession, high interest rates and all that material, they're up 6% today.
Yeah, okay, thanks so much, Evan. Appreciate it.
I didn't bring the jack handle, so I'm gonna
For more on invest
just clean these up, take photos of them. They're overdue for a clean. The one side.
29 degrees, which is the top we've hit here in the city. 31 degrees in Ipswich, also partly cloudy, all the way up the coast to Rockhampton with a high of 32 degrees. For our friends on 4RO listening in Rocky, looking ahead, we're going to have some warm days. In fact, we're looking for a top of 33 degrees for Australia Day, the 26th of January. There could also be a chance perhaps of a shower, perhaps in the afternoon and into the evening on Thursday. And between now and then, we'll just see partly
Elite Series, WWF.
Kia, movement that inspires. Hurry, secure one of the remaining apartments in stage 1 at Rondu Towers. The height of retirement in Newstead. Downsize your home, enrich your lifestyle at Ozcare's Singing Retirement Living Address. Opening autumn 2023. Book your exclusive experience at Rondu Towers to discover more about Riverside Retirement. Call 1-800 Ozcare or visit rondutowers.org.au today.
Find out more at targetscores.com.au.
Did you know there are different types of sleep studies, but which one is right for you? Some can be bulk billed with a GP referral, or if you prefer, many are now available without a referral. So now there's no need to see a GP if you don't want to. Let Synergy Sleep's experts help you decide what is best for you. They'll guide you to the right study type, explain the resulting data, and find the right solution so you feel well again. Call Synergy Sleep on 3287 2385 or visit synergysleep.com.au. Synergy Sleep, better than the rest.
Made in Brisbane for Brisbane. You're listening to Sophie Formica on 882 4BC.
Remember last year I was telling you about this new free bus service that was going to start in South Brisbane. I think the big aim here is to really try to ease some of the congestion that happens in the South Brisbane area. So it's going to start today, this new 12-month bus trial connecting the art, cultural and entertainment precincts around South Brisbane. It's a free bus loop travelling in an anti-clockwise direction. It'll go along Grey Street, the Montague Road, Vulture Street and Tribune Street in sort of a big triangle. So everyone can experience that sort of South Brisbane area and be able to do it by jumping on and off these buses rather than having to either take a car in or do all of the walking. We know that that area around South Brisbane and West End has grown considerably and the population is going to double in that space by 2036. So they will need to be doing a lot of work about infrastructure, and this is just one small way to see whether or not trialling this bus service will help to keep a little congestion out of that area. So look for the green and white branded stops, and they're looking to potentially extend it beyond the 12 months if it goes really well in South Brisbane. Coming up after the 2 o'clock news headlines, the Scenic Rim local who is building his own private zoo, and the Entertainment Quarter with Rob McKnight. Television, of course, is getting ready for the big battles of the year. All the new shows are going to start in prime time. People have details on that and the plan to stop a worldwide superstar from coming to Australia. All of that and more for you here on 4BC Afternoons. Coming up after the 2 o'clock news headlines next.
The Viking Explorer sale is now on, and we've never been more ready to explore. With incredible savings on 2023 and 2024 river cruises, award-winning Viking longships with the most alfresco dining and spacious suites on the rivers. Simply unpack once and enjoy Viking's all-inclusive value. It's time to explore the world with Viking. Book now and save up to $6,600 per couple. Visit Viking.com or see your Viking agents. Want more from your favourite station? Register now at 4bc.com.au. Brisbane's 882 4BC.
In this bulletin, the Premier back at work. A Brisbane man charged with torture, and the school year resumes. It's 2 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Jess Ambler. The Premier says she won't be recalling Parliament early to deal with the youth crime crisis. Anastasia Palaszczuk has returned to work today after taking extended leave over Christmas. During that time, a mother of 2 was allegedly murdered by 2 teenagers at a home invasion in North Lakes. Well, over the weekend, a 17-year-old boy was charged with the murder of a man in Wilston. Amid calls from the opposition to toughen laws, the Premier says work is underway.
We're going to be introducing very strong legislation. That legislation is being drafted. Some preliminary consultation has already started.
The man's been charged accused of torturing 3 children. A 5-year-old has been found with critical injuries at a home on Brisbane's north by Anderson reports. A little boy just 5 years old to critically injured, and 2 other children, a 6-year-old girl and a 9-year-old boy with extensive injuries but not life-threatening. As the same emergency services were confronted with the home was shut over the weekend. All of them were taken to the Queensland Children's Hospital for treatment. A 29-year-old man was taken into custody. His exact relationship with the children is unclear. Police say he is known to them. He's been charged with 7 serious offences, including grievous bodily harm and torture. He's been refused bail in court. In Brisbane, Laura Anderson, 9 News. Some economists believe falling health prices and a drop in consumer spending could push Australia into a recession. The Reserve Bank is expected to hike interest rates again next month, further dampening economic growth. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says there may be tough times ahead, but we're prepared for the financial pressure.
We'll continue to monitor. The economy is very volatile globally, and we're exposed to a lot of those global issues. But the fundamentals here in Australia are still very strong.
The federal opposition is calling for a major intervention in Alice Springs in the Northern Territory. There's been an increase in crime in the town, and the local mayor is urging the Prime Minister to send in federal police. Opposition leader Peter Johnson also wants alcohol bans to be imposed in Brisbane. And nearly 900,000 students will return to classrooms today to roll the 2023 school year. Meantime, 40 state schools have opened tables for the first time, welcoming 400 foundation students. Education
Pump on the tyre up.
says it's an
Oh,
exciting time for
4
all.
tyres.
I'm sure everyone is excited, not only the students that are entering maybe for their first day or coming back to school, of course, and welcoming them, but to the parents, I'm sure that are excited about bringing their students back into a 2023 school year.
Major Bananas won her 4th round match at the Australian Open against Kelsey Caroline Garcia. She won in 2 sets, 7-6, 6-4. In time, Alex Senior and Novak Djokovic will headline that over Amelia tonight. Her favorite reports. Queensland coach Pat Hogan says he's keen to have more game time this season after suspension and injury last year. Brisbane started off well with this Friday finals after losing 5 of their last 6 games. Hogan says they'll be winning it takes to see them succeed this year.
I'll take back from last year, but in terms of where we're at as a club and building the potential to win the league, we're constantly we're not like the world, so it's much like that. It's a
Westbound delays approaching the Waterford Bridge in Waterford West. Bingley Redland Bay Road slow both ways through Parbrook. Delay free for the Gateway Motorway and the Bruce Highway. It's Reece Messenger on Brisbane's traffic leader 882 for BC.
Australia, I've been doing some investigating, and I found you can save 15% on your first year's premium when you purchase a new comprehensive car insurance policy online with Budget Direct. A case of online being on the money. Isn't it time you switched to Budget Direct?
Issue Auto and General Insurance Company Limited. Read BDS and TMD at budgetdirect.com.au to decide if products suit you. Discount applies for your first year's premium for a policy purchased online. Individual circumstances and policy terms may vary. Compare for yourself.
How does staff feel about working at Ballycara?
I've absolutely loved my time with Ballycara, and I want to thank them for supporting growth in my community.
Ballycara is a place like our own. I feel so supported.
That's because everyone matters at Ballycara. There's also a fantastic range of employee benefits, including wellness day off, staff rewards and recognition, benefits for learning, and much more. So if you're looking for a fulfilling and rewarding career,
news headlines, and that is the ongoing youth crime issues in the Premier. Youth crime. Waking up again this morning to find that yet another innocent person has had their life taken from them by a child, a 17-year-old. She said that people have the right to feel safe, and we need more police out there. How do you think?
We are absolutely adamant that the reform introduced, and we want to see that implemented. And we are absolutely resolved that the reforms that we announced will take priority and will be implemented.
You see how people get recorded.
Awful tired. Hot. Hot, baby. Ow. Jeez, that's hot. Hey, non-chance. Yeah, no, intersection figures. Yeah, just tidying up. Looking at what I'm doing. So much stuff in here I'm gonna get rid of. Towels, curtains, more clothes. That. The things that I need going. Oh, we've got some stuff. Don't ask me how long I'm going to be here. Got the jack, but I forgot to bring the handle. I'll come back tomorrow and move the car over. Actually, wonder. Oh, I mightn't be able to get the trolley jack under that one out of the so. Gonna take a bit of thinking. I've got trolley jacks at the back corner. Okay. Trolley jack under this side, but I don't know about the front corner. Front corner of that corner. Another freaking towel. Fucking bed. Freaking socks. Tent cover. Tent. haven't been through here for a year. It's about time I started cleaning it out. Get rid of things. Get the tent. Just need to put the cover in there. Fold it up properly. Open the bag. So that happens around. One peg. It's like 30 degrees or something. Or 32 degrees, something like that. Probably not how you fold it up. Leaving the house, eh? No worries, eh, farmer? Palmer. Last time I thought it cost about 150 bucks or something. That was a long time ago, and it was 65 litres. Tank. I get about 300 kilometres tank out of it. That one's supposed to be worth a couple of $1,000. Macho Man and Elizabeth, WCW. NWO. And it's got all Fashion Beach. NWO. Hogan one. DDP. Chris Jericho. Into WrestleMania. Smashing. By himself. How's that going? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I want to clean them all up. And then I want to take photos of them all, or do a YouTube video. And then I got a guy that I got to send them off to. He can use it like a evaluator. Antiques and things. China. RVD. What's that? This one's SummerSlam one. This one could be worth some money too. Gotta clean them. I think that one's worth some money. That's part of that 3 set one. That's part of that one. 15 years ago I looked that up, that was worth $1,500 US. So I don't know what it's worth now. We double that. Okay, time to start cleaning them all up and put them back in the car. I've got other ones. Of these big dolls at home. Start cleaning them up. Just do that. We have to come back tomorrow. With you, take it, clean it up. Clean them up, get rid of them. They don't want to be damaged anymore. What they are. The fucking thing that would work. Right. spray bottle not to work. I can't really the spray bottle don't work. With my hand. Oh, so have that. Rough cleanup. It's okay. Don't wipe over the pen. Signed by Mankind. Clean them all up and then back into the car. I'll take photos again. Power Slam WCW. Buff Bagwell. God, with that shit. To come back tomorrow and fix the car up, straighten it up, and hopefully I'll be able to wash it. Straighten it up. King of the Ring, Shawn Michaels, the commissioner. Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. After she married Triple H. Latino Heat. China. I got chat in front of me now, I can read it. Playing with the wrestling figures. That's gotta be rare. China. China. keep coming back until I fix it all, everything up. NWO, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Total Complete Dominance. This is W. Or Wrestling Entertainment. Yeah. Getting that old plastic starting to go a bit coloured. They have been kept it in the dark room too. I think that would be worth something. Scott Hall. Hey Farmer, Shea Gang, Edward Kim, Content, Athletic World. No, I can't take her out for a drive yet, mate. She's got to go to the rust repair shop and then get a paint job. Then I'll take her out on the streams. So I'm doing here, getting the things prepared so I can. I've got to get rid of these wrestling figures so they're all out of the way. And I can start working on the car. First get this all on it, and there is my car and tools. Two big toolbox at the back. Everything else has to go. So two Stephanie McMahons. Probably lay them all out in the ground after I clean them, and I'll just take the camera over them so I can send the guy the video. They can get a rough look, and then they can come and have a look at themselves if they want to. And I'm thinking there's more than $5,000 worth. Double that. I don't know. RPD. He's got a little magazine. Wrestling magazine, miniature. A Rock superhero on the cover. It's got magazine too. Dark. So now 2:44 should have plenty of time. That's 7 o'clock yesterday. I'll show you after it's dusty cat here or whatever. when you see Young go on, yell out, I'll switch over. Just double check. There's no one yet. Clean. Kurt Angle. Some of these are like separate ones in the series. I haven't got all in that series. Only certain ones. Complete series. I'm over collecting the wrestling figures now. Yeah. Some of these like 1990 or something. These are the last of all this one. Stone Cold, Steve Austin, Series 13. Back in the other wrestling events, so otherwise the wrestling figures actually be stuffed. They're all protected. They haven't been in the sunlight. Pretty much. Devon, get the tables. Put them in the back of the seat, in the back of the car, I mean. Just keep them safe. And dust off them too, to clean them. Easier to get out. Do as much as I can today and I'll come back tomorrow. I get rid of that air conditioner that I got over there too. Lots of things I want to put on marketplace. So cold. Right back. Get inside my wrestling belt. Triple H SmackDown series, SmackDown 4. Jericho. Take me a good hour to clean these. And I'll empty the car out. Things in the marketplace. Rock, Series 13, that's not even that SmackDown. this one? This one's got 2001 on it. I'm pretty sure I got early in 2001. I think I got 98 or something. WCW 2000. That series is 2000. WCW one. Yeah, so it's only like 20 years old. Something like that. I'm probably more than 20, so I'm probably 22 years old. We got Macho Man, WCW. $19.99. Yeah, that's why I want to get them evaluated properly. I'll get ripped off. Something you can't sell at the flea markets. It's like everything I collect. That quality things. Macho Man. Sting, WCW, 2099. Yeah, when I do the video and I do them all together, I go and show him it and ask him what he thinks they're worth. And which ones he thinks are worth more than the others. I'd be interested if he knew anything about them. The earlier stuff. Diamond Dallas Page. George Wallace. Yeah, whatever you say. What would you know, George? You got no clue about anything, buddy. That's straight facts. Oh, what got you? What get you? You're right, boy. What the fuck, kid? Thanks, Shady. All of them are pretty much done, so nearly halfway through maybe. less. No point even talking about him. Waste of fucking energy. Waste of fucking hot air. Guy's got no clue. I think he's even a guy. Hang on. Back on top of the dirty pile, you idiot. That was Jacqueline. 1998. Undertaker, 1998. Hunter. Thanks for the view, George. Dudley. Bubbly Dudley. Matt Hardy. Jeff Hardy, sorry. I got one over here that could be worth a bit. Armour. In front of me, the next one I'm going to clean. I think I've got a couple. A Canadian crippler. Two. Prince Albert. This is where I get all my wrestling history from. Saturn. Perry Saturn. Saturn. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Undertaker 2000. Back on the same file. So back. Okay, just do these, take videos and pictures of all these wrestling figures, pack them back into the car, and try and restack everything back in that I've got in the car and stuff. And come back tomorrow. Take away some rubbish that I got now. Probably have to come back every day for a fucking week. Eventually get the car cleaned out. And I'm going to get a car cover for it. Really nice material one, indoor one. Showroom. Kurt Angle, the big hero, it's true. Max getting sore. Forward. Don't do this now, I won't do it at all. Showed you Kurt Angle. Rikishi. Rikishi. Sid Vicious. Oh. show too. X-Pack. X-Pack. Road Dog. Hey Peter. I don't come here and say shit. Farmer is in charge at the moment. He obviously did you for a reason, buddy. Go back to IP2 where you come from. Yeah, get no respect, just go back, buddy. You don't want you here. Yeah, no respect, people. Hey Lisa. Lisa K. Plenty of other streamers on IP2. Go and hassle them. Go and find someone that's on drugs or that's an alcoholic or something. You want to go with them. WrestleMania, Undertaker. You probably couldn't find anyone here anyway. You probably don't even have the balls. Road to WrestleMania, Chris Jericho. None's triggered me, buddy. You triggered yourself. You were triggered right now. I don't have to explain why I'm on anything to anybody. Especially you. You're not my mama. You're pathetic, buddy. Troll all you like. Yeah, I can give a shit. What you gonna do, buddy? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'll just ignore him. Just don't read his chat. Simple as that. Just don't read it. I'm not going to react to it. I'm not going to read it. Keeps it up, just ban him. I'm going to shut him up. Yeah. Some people have no game. Test. That's not test. Edge, man. Test. Billy Gunn. These idiots don't realise their messages get deleted anyway, even if I keep the photo, go through it and watch it. And I think said that I don't like it, I'll just delete it. X-Pack. Ah. I'm not streaming for idiots in chat. I'm streaming for myself. Number one. Yeah, we're about halfway now. Ringmaster's next. SummerSlam. Street pile, clean next. Gotta stretch my back for a sec. Thanks, Farmer. Put radio on for a sec. Still read the chat with radio on.
This week on the Drive podcast, want to get your demerit points back faster? You can have your say at the state election. It's the Drive podcast from drive.com.au.
Brought to you by the Volvo XC60. Visit your local Volvo retailer today.
Saw this or reports of a dead body. Then they put 2 and 2 together, came up with 4 and went and arrested the 17-year-old and the girl. Now, I've got a few questions to ask about what was going on then. Like they had a machete and they've murdered a guy, allegedly. And what about the blood and all that sort of stuff? So I suppose there's a few questions to be answered there, but the police will look at that themselves. But it was a shocking crime, another instance of youth crime. And as I said, after 4, I'm going to give you some statistics that will make your hair stand on end. This is also horrendous stuff. The Courier Mail's reporting a man was expected to front court today. I think that might have happened already, charged with torturing his 3 children, including 5-year-old son, who was rushed to hospital with life-threatening injuries. Now, what happened was the Queensland Ambulance Service was called to help a 5-year-old boy at a house at Wishart at 9:30 p.m. on Saturday. He was taken to the Queensland Children's Hospital for treatment, and he had these life-threatening injuries. 2 other children were in a garage, locked in a garage at the same house. 6-year-old girl and an 8-year-old boy. They had non-life-threatening extensive injuries, were also taken to hospital. A 29-year-old man was charged with 7 counts of assault occasioning bodily harm, 3 counts of torture, 3 counts of assault occasioning bodily harm while armed, and 1 count of grievous bodily harm. That is just horrendous stuff. Horrendous stuff.
Stone Cold,
3 poor kids
99.
being allegedly abused like that by their father. 5, 6 and 8. I can only pray for those little kids. I have gone on long and hard and loud here at 4BC for the last 2.5 years about what a disaster Medicare is, because it has failed to keep up with the system. Now today, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, he's been smoked out by a story in The Australian about big reform is coming with regards to Medicare. And they're talking about widening the system and allowing you to get treatment from nurses and allied health practitioners and getting pharmacists into it so they can get Medicare rebates and all of those things. The Prime Minister, he likes to dictate the terms of announcements. Well, it was dictated for him, so he went on to the Sunrise program this morning. Have a listen to what the Prime Minister said, then I'll have something to say about it at the back end.
The big thing we're looking at is how do you take pressure off the system, and we're doing that in a way talking to the AMA, talking to the Royal Australian College of General Practitioners, talking through health experts, because we want to make sure that this Medicare task force is listened to. The report this morning preempts that a little bit. We want to see all of the detail. We'll also work it through with the states and territories. We've been working through models of primary health care assistance that would take pressure off hospitals, and I'll have more to say about that.
Yeah, so he went on to say he had more to say about it, and he was talking about the story. He does not like it. He goes, that story's a bit premature and stuff like that. He's got models, he's got task forces. We know what's happened. New South Wales and Victoria have ganged up against him and set up those GP clinics. Queensland's kind of gone it alone. All of these stuff have put pressure on him. The AMA's run a good campaign. The College of GPs have run a good campaign. And he's saying, how do you take pressure off the system? What he's saying is, the Medicare hasn't kept pace, so what people are doing are going to hospital, to emergency departments. That's squeezing the system, that's costing money. Prime Minister, can I give you a basic economic lesson? What will take pressure off the system is money. The Medicare rebate just went from $39 to $39.75. That's for a basic 15-minute consultation. The rebate has not kept pace with the times. It's not your fault. It's the fault of the previous coalition government, and I see all the ministers today just blaming the coalition government. But what did Gillard Rudd do about it? So come on, let's just take the blame away and understand that governments in Australia over the last, I'd say, 30 years have not allowed the Medicare rebate to keep pace. Now, a lot of you will go, well, $39.75 for a standard consultation is pretty good. Okay, just think about this. I'm a GP, I run a clinic. There's a couple of PAs who have to take care of the phone, the appointments. There's lots of little extra bits and pieces that need to be done. There's paperwork, there's record keeping, there's compliance, there's rent for the premises, there's equipment, there is power bills, there's everything going on. And a standard $39.75 for a consultation, let's say you get through 4 of them an hour, because they're 15-minute consultations, and when people get their time with the doctor, they want to use their time with the doctor. So that's $160 an hour per doctor. And you might go, that's pretty good money. And you might extrapolate that out and say that's, $1,500 a day. But that's just the raw income. That's not taking out any expenses. And those doctors can make a lot more money by not being a GP and going off and doing some other specialty. That is the problem. And until that's fixed, nothing will be fixed. Plenty of sport around. Tennis, the Australian Open continues. I'll give you updates through the afternoon. The big one tonight, Alex de Minaur. The Demon is taking on Novak Djokovic. He's a good chance tonight. The Demon, Djokovic, has got that little hint of an injury. De Minaur just keeps going and going. Look, he's got to pick up one of the first 2 sets. That's blatantly obvious. Let's hope that he does. Rugby league, there's no sign yet of the war between the players and the NRL softening on either side. That continues. Today on the show, we'll talk to the AMA about Medicare. We'll talk to a criminologist about youth crime. We'll catch up with Luke Bradnam. I've got a serious question to ask Luke Bradnam today. It's going to be like a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire kind of segment, and I want the listeners to help me with the answer as well. Up next, though, Queensland's booming economy. Yet we're going great, but warning signs are blazing. It's 21 after 3.
Traffic. Quality cover when it matters most. Get Queensland covered with Suncorp Car Insurance.
At Enoggera, there's a 2-vehicle crash on Pickering Street eastbound. The left lane is blocked under the Wardell Street overpass and traffic slow in both directions. At Rocklea, trucks hit the height clearance before the Muriel Avenue rail bridge. The westbound lanes are blocked and delays are back to Beaudesert Road. In Castledine, there's a 3-vehicle crash on Graham Road between Ridley Road and Gympie Road, and a two-vehicle crash at Capalaba, Old Cleveland Road northbound after Finucane Road. It's Reese Messenger on 4BC.
Cover you can count on when it matters most. Award-winning claim service, 7 years running with Suncorp Car Insurance. Get Queensland covered today.
40km/h school zones are now in force. Bathroom leaks cause damage. Get a free leak check with AquaShield Bathrooms.
Looking to invest but not sure where to put your money? Talk to the team at CFMG Capital. They provide real opportunities that work for you via residential land subdivisions throughout Australia. CFMG Capital has a proud track record of returning 100% of invested capital, together with its advertised returns. Start investing in your future today. Visit cfmgcapital.com.au.
Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance. An investment does not represent a deposit and is subject to risk, including possible loss of capital. Prospective investors should carefully consider the PDS, SPDS and TMD of the investments at CFMG Capital's website before making any investments. CFMG Equity and Income Funds Limited, AFSL 291390.
Coming to Brisbane for one night only. After a critically acclaimed
No worries,
sellout
Lisa,
tour
take
of
care.
the UK, Queen by Candlelight is rocking out at QPAC on the 1st of February at 8 p.m. Featuring a star-studded cast of singers from London's West End, this epic production celebrates the music of the biggest rock band ever. The show features over 20 of Queen's hit songs, including Bohemian Rhapsody, We Are the Champions, I Want to Break Free, and many more. Visit qpac.com.au to book your tickets now.
When a loved one passes away, it isn't the easiest of times, and it's not always expected. But cremations only can make a tough time a little easier. Whether you choose an unattended cremation or a full funeral service with a coffin sporting the Australian flag, Cremations Only will take care of your needs. Call Cremations Only anytime on 1300 311 747 or visit cremationsonly.com.au. Cremations Only, for a loving farewell, not an expensive one.
You can sell your car by the side of the road, might take a while and it might get
Three-quarters
towed.
of the way
You can buy
through
some
now,
ads
so
in
that's
used
cool.
car mags, or spend big bucks in the daily rags. You can list your wheels on those car websites and sit and wait till you get some bites. Might be weeks, could be months, or go to Car Buyers Online.
Staying NWO.
Carbuyersonline.com.au. Join our team at Visi, leaders in sustainable packaging solutions. With a wide variety of roles available at our new state-of-the-art box-making factory in Hemmant, you can work for a brand pioneering sustainability. Apply now at visi.com/careers.
Goldberg.
You're listening to Brisbane Live with Neil Breen on 882 4BC.
25 after 3, Marty wrote to me and said, Neil, about doctors' biggest cost to them, medical insurance, big dollars. Marty, you're 100% right. The Queensland's booming economy next.
Diamond Dallas Page. Scott Hall. Another Goldberg. Could be worth something. Don't want to get ripped off, that's all. It's gone through half a roll of paper. GTP. Fox, Stereo and the Big Show. Lex Luger. Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
They rode while they were sitting on the veranda of a pub while they were on tour in Bundaberg. And a thunderstorm rolled through and they wrote that song. What a song. The Premier walked back into good news today, first day back. There's a reputable report showing Queensland has the best performing economy in the nation. We know we've got a population boom going on, the jobs market's good, there's overseas demand for our resources. It's the CommSec State of States quarterly report. It gauges the economic momentum everywhere, and Queensland is top for the first time in the 13-year history of the publication. Look, there are some warnings, worried about interest rates and all those things that are coming. And Access Economics believes economic growth across Australia will slow dramatically this year as the consumer-led recovery runs out of steam. They're worried about falling house prices, rising interest rates, high inflation, low levels of consumer confidence and negative real wage growth, expecting to create a perfect storm of economic headwinds. So it's all very negative, this Deloitte Access Economics, and they're very worried, that mob, if the Reserve Bank increases interest rates again. They're saying that they shouldn't go beyond the 3.1%, could tip us into recession. So the big thought is we'll go to 3.35. When will that happen? Is that next week? It'll be the week after. It'll be 2 weeks, I'd say, because next week will be the 31st. So it'll be 2 weeks. So there you go. Also, some interesting stats about food prices. I'll tell you about that very soon. And also, after the 3:30 news, there's some breaking news about Michael Clark. The Bogan brawl in the park at Noosa. Is it going to cost him financially? I think so. Let's go to the newsroom. She's never been in a Bogan brawl in her life, Laura Anderson.
I can honestly say I haven't, Brady. Making news today, David George Conway has been identified as the man who was allegedly killed by a 17-year-old boy in Wellston. The 43-year-old was found with stab wounds over the weekend. It comes as the Premier has returned from holidays today, promising that work is underway to strengthen youth crime laws. Anastasia Palaszczuk, however, won't be convening Parliament early as requested by the opposition. There are no more suspects in the latest mass shooting in the United States. The 72-year-old took his own life after shooting dead 10 people in LA. And the Prime Minister is playing down fears Australia could be headed for a recession this year. In sport, Aussie Alex de Minaur will headline the night session at the Australian Open with Novak Djokovic is in with the chance as the Serb has been struggling with a hamstring injury. And Brini, I'll have more news at 4.
Traffic for Alex Gow Funerals, caring for families for over 175 years.
In Forest Lake, there's a crash on the Logan motorway eastbound after the Centenary Highway. There are heavy delays back to Elland Road. Westbound traffic is slow back to Heathwood. At Enoggera, a 2-vehicle crash on Pickering Street. It's blocked the eastbound left lane under Wardell Street. At Rockleah, trucks hit the height clearance before the Muriel Avenue rail bridge. The westbound lanes are blocked and delays go back to Beaudesert Road. It's Reece Messenger with traffic every 10 minutes on 882 for BC.
Alex Gow Funerals, caring for families across southeast Queensland for over 175 years and still family owned.
Laurel, Gary and Mark.
Good on you, Pete. We have got 10 questions for you.
Okay. Was Beast Burden written by the Rolling Stones or Bette Midler?
Rolling Stones.
What does 4 times 9 equal?
36.
What is the capital of the Northern Territory?
Darwin.
Yes! Still 10 seconds left on the clock. See, I don't know the clock, so I'm racing and trying to get it out there to give you a chance. Peter, $1,000.
You've made my day, you guys. That's fantastic.
Breakfast with Laurel, Gary and Mark on 4BC.
Where would you like to travel to this year? Maybe you'd love to take on a hiking adventure across the mountains, a wellness trip at some of the world's best beaches, a shopping experience with a friend, or a sightseeing cultural tour. Wherever you want to go, it's time to book your holiday because Singapore Airlines' unmissable fare deals are on sale right now. With 3 daily flights from Brisbane, you can choose from an array of destinations across Singapore Airlines' global network. Whether it's to London, to Delhi, Manila, Colombo, Singapore. Book now through your local accredited travel agent or at Singapore Air, one word, singaporeair.com. Hurry, the sale ends January 29. Terms and conditions apply.
It's Brett Steen from Jacaranda Financial Planning, here to sort out your super and retirement. Heard on the radio for years, we provide trusted, clear superannuation and retirement advice.
Book Jacaranda's free super and retirement planning seminar, 6 p.m. Tuesday, January 24 at the Sofitel, Turbot Street, City.
Learn tips and tricks on how to make your account-based pension and super work.
Book now with Jacaranda Financial Planning on 1800 40 26 10 or visit jacarandafp.com.au.
With fuel price lock on the My 7-Eleven app, I saved an average of 14 cents per litre last year. Download the app and you could start saving on mobile quality fuel.
Savings not guaranteed. Depend on purchase volume and market conditions. See 711.com.au for T's and C's.
You're listening to Brisbane Live with Neil Breen on 882 4BC.
26 minutes to 4. Very soon I'll talk to Dr. James Ogilvie about youth crime. He's a criminology and criminal justice expert from Griffith University. I did want to give you some breaking news though. Daniel Brettig is a high-quality cricket writer attached to 9 newspapers. He predominantly can be seen brisbanetimes.com.au, smh.com.au. And he used to work for ESPN. He's got contacts all over the world. And Daniel's written this and published it just now. Former captain Michael Clarke is set to be replaced as a commentator on Australia's looming Test series against India as the fallout from his ugly public altercation in Noosa continues. Multiple senior cricket sources who did not wish to be named, in order to speak frankly, have confirmed to the Aids in the Sydney Morning Herald that the BCCI, India's cricket board, is seeking other former players to replace Clarke in the spot he's meant to fill alongside Matthew Hayden for the tour. Now, this is what happens. The BCCI, which has declined multiple requests for comment, it's India's governing body and it employs commentators directly for coverage of home series. It then sells the rights to the broadcast feeds around the world, and they've just got to cop the commentators the BCCI have employed. And Foxtel holds the rights and they'll use that BCCI commentary. So if the BCCI doesn't want Clarke, Clarke won't be commentating. But he was on radio in Sydney today, Michael Clarke. He didn't say anything about the Bogan brawl, but he did say, I've been asked to commentate on the Pakistan Super League, the Pakistan Premier League, and that's from February 13 to March 19. Heaps of overseas players are going. So if he's already talking about commentating in Pakistan while the Indian tour is on, for which he holds a contract, I think you can safely say that old mate Michael Clarke has burnt the cash alive that he was going to get from the BCCI, and whether he ends up in Pakistan, well, who really cares? Well, it's one of the big stories of the year. Well, it's the biggest story of the year here in Queensland. We've only been going for a month, isn't it? Youth crime. And it was the biggest story of last year, and it was the biggest story of the year before. It is a make or break issue for both political parties. 2023 is the year preceding a state election. You know how they talk about golf tournaments? They're 4-day tournaments. Thursday's the opening round, Friday round 2, Saturday round 3, Sunday round 4. They call the Saturday third round. They call it moving day. That's the day you've got to put yourself in position to win. 2023 is a moving year for these political parties. That is when they've got to put themselves in a position to win in 2024, because in 24 it's too late. We saw a teenage boy, 17, charged with the murder of a 43-year-old Wilston man yesterday, killed with a machete less than a kilometre from his own home. Looks like he got off the train at Wilson Station, was heading to his flat and was killed. Emma Lovell died at the hands of another young criminal, allegedly while protecting her North Lakes house during a home invasion. Had teenage kids inside. It's a giant problem. And the state government started bringing in all these new laws and new rules. Dr. James Ogilvie, as I said, criminology and criminal justice expert from Griffith University, is on the line. Dr. Ogilvie, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Neil. Thanks for having me.
So we saw what the state government did just before the New Year break, or the year ended, and they brought in this new set of rules, and they're going to put them through at the first day of Parliament this year. And the Premier was talking tough today, increasing maximum penalty for stealing a car from 7 to 10 years, a more severe penalty of 14 years if the offence is committed at night, and blah, 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 and all these different things. A lot of listeners at 4BC, Dr. Ogilvie, go, increasing the maximum's a waste of time. You've got to increase the minimum. What do you think?
Well, I think one thing that the Premier does say is absolutely correct, and that's that juvenile offending is a complicated problem. And I think having one-size-fits-all solution, so in inverted commas, is not the way to do it. I think that there needs to be a more individualised approach. But look, one thing that we know for absolutely sure is that more harsher penalties and approaches to youth offending does nothing to reduce the risk of those young people going on to reoffend again. In fact, we do know that young people who receive harsher penalties are much more likely to go on to reoffend.
I think that, Dr. Ogilvie, what troubles the public is that we know that the young couple who were run down by a youth offender 2 years ago on Australia Day in Alexandra Hills, that youth offender was out on bail on a multiple offences, string offences. Emma Lovell, we don't get a lot of clarity because we can't cover the children's court, but it appears as though at least one of those offenders was on bail. That's what troubles the public. They go, well, if they were in the can, then those people wouldn't be dead.
Yeah, sure. And look, those specific cases that you bring up as examples are absolutely tragic. But they really do highlight that, look, there is a youth offending problem, but it's much more nuanced than I suppose the public is aware of. So we know overall that youth offending is declining, but there is a small group of what we would refer to as very chronic young offenders who are offending at much higher rates and much more seriously. And these are the young people who are probably appearing in the news for these really tragic events. And look, we know that those harsher punishments are not going to stop these young people from engaging in these more serious offences. And I guess the boat's already sailed for a lot of these more serious young people, but the intervention should have been much earlier in their, let's call it, youth offending careers.
Okay, so we've got two things at play here, according to people like yourself who study this area and are experts in it. One, we got these youth offenders who are too far gone. So the first part of my question is, what should we do to deal with them, to stop them from offending? Is it just incarceration? Number two, to stop the next generation of those kids, what is it that we should do? Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. Two-barrel question, great. So, look, I think for the first one, in terms of dealing with those young people, the very damaged young people who, let's say, are too far gone, there are services available, there are approaches that we can use that can be effective in containing the risk. I don't think incarceration is the answer for most of these young people. For some young people, incarceration is a necessary evil. But look, there are highly specialised services and programs that we can use that are effective in containing risk for those very serious young people. But look, the governments need to be very serious about investing in those services and also about evaluating how they work and what the impacts of them are. So look, there needs to be serious investment by governments to really figure out what works for those young people. There are pilot programs out there that have been shown to be very effective in reducing reoffending for very serious young people, but there needs to be a big investment. So the second question, can you remind me of that one again?
Just getting to the next generation. The kid who might be 10 now, to stop them being the 15-year-old who's just out of control.
Yeah, right. So look, the research is a little bit clearer here. So we know that interventions that happen early and happen with families and communities are very effective in reducing the onset of really serious offending. So we know that young people who are very serious offenders come from quite troubled families, and that's not to blame the families because they're struggling themselves, but we need to invest the resources in helping those families raise young people who are not going to go out there and offend and engage in these really serious offences.
Yeah, and I think you're right. And I have to say, Dr. Ogilvie, that one of the most common questions I get from listeners at 4BC is, where are their parents? Why can't they? And I honestly, and I'm not being disparaging of any of those listeners who ask that question because it's a legitimate question, but you only need to go sit in a magistrate's court for one day to the call-over session, and there's your answer.
Yeah, sure. And look, these are not to blame those parents, but there is a lot of dysfunction that occurs within those families that lead those young people to be less. The simple answer is that they're unsupervised. This young fellow who's got himself in very serious trouble and caused a very serious and harmful event to someone over the weekend has been out and about at 2 o'clock or between 11 and 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, this is a failure of supervision and a failure of family.
It sure is. Dr. James Ogilvie from Griffith University, an expert criminologist. Thanks so much for your time this afternoon.
No worries. Thank you very much for having me.
And look, it's a really complex issue. And what Dr. Ogilvie is saying there is, you want to tackle this thing, you've got to spend big bucks at a grassroots level. And you've got to have an optimum performing public service and department, the likes of which we do not see here in Queensland. We see dysfunction across our departments. We've got ministers in departments like health that are openly talking about a bad culture in the health department, which is just shameful. Absolutely shameful that we're spending all of this money, and how you tackle that is so complex, absolutely complex. And I just don't think those serious offenders who are 16, 17, they should just be in jail. If that's the only way we can tackle it, they should just be in jail, because under no circumstances am I going to accept, we can have this program, we can have that program, we can have this intervention, we can have that halfway house, we can have this. If my wife and my kids are out walking on Australia Day while I'm in here working doing a broadcast, and they get run down by a 16-year-old youth offender who's had 80 previous charges and who was high on drugs and alcohol in a stolen car, and it's the third car they stole that day, then I'm not going, I've lost my wife and kids, but can we find some nice programs for these kids to stop them offending? It's just not going to happen. And community attitudes are just not going to go along that line. It's 15 to 4.
4BC Traffic. Stacker Deli Snack today with Primo Stackers.
There's a crash in Forest Lake on the Logan motorway eastbound after the Centenary Highway with extensive delays behind it from Formation Street, and westbound delays go back to Larapinta. At Enoggera, there's a two-vehicle crash on Pickering Street eastbound. It's blocked the left lane under Wardell Street. At Rocklea, trucks hit the height clearance before the Muriel Ave rail bridge. The westbound lanes are both blocked and delays in both directions. It's Reece Messenger with traffic every 10 minutes on 882 4BC.
Hungry? Grab Primo Stackers. Quality deli meats, cheese and crackers. The perfect travel buddy. Primo, packed full of fun.
So, seeing these kids going back to school worries me.
Why, Beck? Because they look so young?
No, I'm worried about the cost of education, books and uniforms. Keeps going up every year.
But you're an EdSaver, like me.
I know we'll be all right. Our investment in EdSaver by Futurity is helping us manage our kids' future education costs. But I hope someone will tell their parents.
Well, that's a job for an expert.
We all want the best for our children and grandchildren. EdSaver by Futurity is a dedicated savings and investment product designed to help cover the future costs of their education. EdSaver by Futurity. To see if EdSaver suits your particular needs, go to edsaver.com.au. And don't forget to read the PDS and TMD before you invest. AFSL 236 665.
We want the very best for you. As we navigate this amazing journey called life, some stages can be a little challenging. That's when Cook and Hutchinson lawyers can help. Wills and estate planning.
I need to get my will in order.
How do we protect our assets? Estate litigation.
We just want everything to be fair.
Or before you make a move to a retirement village. So there are entry fees and exit fees? Know where you stand. Talk to Cook and Hutchinson lawyers, protecting and planning your future. cookhutchinson.com.au.
If you have an accident and you're covered by insurance, I want you to exercise your right and insist on the repairer of your choice. So when making a claim after a bingle, ask for the Bump Shop. The Bump Shop team are master smash repairers who'll get you back on the road as fast as possible. Their experienced technicians use advanced equipment to repair and detail all makes and models to factory standards. All insurance companies are welcome. The Bump Shop, Eagle Farm. Find out more on the website bumpshop.com.au. But exercise your right and insist on the repairer of your choice.
Did you know that Frank Sinatra's My Way was voted the #1 choice of funeral songs? With Time to Say Goodbye not far behind. And the #1 choice for a simple, affordable service? simplicityfunerals.com.au.
Unforgettable travel can now be yours when you book with Qantas Tours, a brand new experience from Qantas Holidays. Discover the world or somewhere closer to home with our incredible range of tour packages, flights, premium accommodation, and exclusive extras, all included. Enjoy expertly curated small group or private tours hosted by local guides. Plus, you can earn or use Qantas points when you book. Search Qantas Tours today and book your next escape. T's and C's apply.
You're listening to Brisbane Live with Neil Breen on 882 4BC.
An Australian Open update very soon. Jane wrote in, Neil, remember when Tony Abbott wanted the $5 gap on Medicare and he was howled down? I remember, Jane. It cost him big time. Medicare takes a lot of them out.
Okay, start taking photos and I'll film. I'll have to like maybe do half first, hold those ones up and then do the next lot. Let's splice it together maybe later. They're the ones I think are worth the money. 15, I reckon there's probably 5,000 or more just in those 3 packets there. Maybe, I don't know, I could be wrong. Gotta do this rest of this here. stack the rest up. the next lot out and take photos of them. Gotta stick them back in the car now. Put everything back in. Okay, stick everything back in and then empty this car into here. Hey Carl. Yeah, it's an XR8, mate. 1992 we beat XR8 Falcon Series 2. Let's put the shit away, going through stuff. So good. The rear arm. Some things on the roof until I figure out what the fuck I'm doing. Motherfucking distributor. Pellets. Okay. That's this. Oh, I'm getting there now. Now, I've got to somehow get the rest of the shit in. Okay. rubbish to take. Dump. Mark the shit's just there to take easy. Shouldn't be too much now and get back on the road. Rubbish. That's a straight EBXR8. Hey Raf, send you the message, mate. We'll get on the road in a minute. Putting the last load of stuff away. I'll be back tomorrow. Jack the thing up, hopefully. so I can just walk up and down each side and not have anything on top. Okay. Very nice. ABZ's financial advisor.
Hey, Surf Dog. Oh, they've all gone. George is gone. He was here before. He was being a dickhead again. Yeah, I just went out to shipping, not shipping container, garage, storage container, whatever you want to call it. I thought I was going to do a lot more, but I didn't. I just got the wrestling figures clean, put them in the back of the car. Got to go back out again and move the car over and clean it. Maybe put it on car stands. Start getting things ready. Start getting rid of stuff like air conditioners and things too. Start making some money. Things I don't need. Just clogging up. Clutter. Getting in the way of the car. Can't walk up and down the side of the car. Everything else that's in there stacked up. It's all back all of a sudden from wiping those bloody wrestling figures. I only did that so I could get those wrestling figures valued. I think they're worth a fair bit. Don't want to get ripped off. Got a collector to ring up. Just a bucket around stream. Nothing too exciting. Just driving home now. Gonna go home, have a shower. Maybe some Evergreen or something. Coffee. Yeah, check my sugar level. This might be why I'm yawning. It's a little hard to do it when you're driving. Oh. Still yawning. Hey, farmer. Really need to do the brakes on this too, the front ones. Getting to a point they're gonna start fucking grinding. Gonna have to do it one weekend. Got the parts, except for the fluid. Hope we're gonna stop. plugs and the air filter, fuel filter. Degrease the engine and replace the tappet cover gasket. Got that. Probably have to do that due for an oil change too. Saying that for ages, the brakes. Really got to do them. That's the case, I really need to stop. What surf? Speaking of surf, we've got to do another Gold Coast or Sunshine Coast stream, but I want to do it when I'm staying down there for a night or something. So I won't have to drive all the way down and back and whatnot. 3 hours there and back round trip. Just a car. Bought a new battery bank today, a new cord. Yeah, it was bloody hot here today. Only because I went and started doing something. I have a hot shower and put it on my back too. Something on my back, it's hurting. Like in the shoulder blade area. I'm almost home, mate. Probably end in another 5 minutes. Oh, Jesus, fuck Christ. Like I'm almost home, I'm gonna fall asleep. Just thought I'd do that little stream today. It wasn't really much. Most likely I'll probably do the same thing again tomorrow at some point. So hopefully I can rearrange more shit around there and at least get that car clean somehow. Get all the dust and shit off it. Got a couple of 20-litre jerry cans full of water. So I might be able to wash the car that way if I can push it out. Pump the tyres up. I'll get the car straight so I can push it in and out properly. so I can push it out. I can sweep the floor and stuff. I'll use guys, take it easy until next time. Most likely tomorrow. Some point I'll be over there doing something to the car. I'll catch you around the internet. Thanks for popping in. It's about 30 degrees over here. It's gonna be hotter tomorrow, I think. 32 or 3. I'll catch you later. I'm popping in home now. See yous. Thanks for popping in, everybody.